What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another video. It's your boy EJ, aka EdgeFit, and today we're starting my how-to series, right? And we're gonna kick that off with the staple in all of my back days. You probably could have guessed it: the seated cable row. This exercise is my one of my absolute favorites. Back is my absolute favorite to train, and it's what I've seen the most progress in. You know, I went from this to this, and you know, it's nothing too crazy, but for me, that's progress because I'm trying to look like a silverback gorilla. You feel me? Like a King Kong type of dude. But before we hop into the cable pulls, I gotta warm my back up. I'm not trying to tear anything up. Gotta wake my back muscles up. So, give me a second. Alright, take my pre, warmed up. Before we go any further, be sure to hit that like button if you want to see more how-to videos on a variety of exercises. And subscribe if you're new because I'm going to be pumping out all kinds of how-tos, workout routines, hitting the gym with Edge, all kinds of stuff. So be sure to subscribe, hit that bell button. Whew. Without further ado, let's hop. Alright, so the seated cable row, right? This exercise, I absolutely love it. You know, it helps build that thickness in my back. You know, I feel like this exercise is one of the key exercises that I've been doing to really develop my lats. This fat part of your back right here. You see the flare? That's all. You see dudes walk around like this. Now females, ladies. Just because you're doing a seated cable row doesn't mean you're gonna start walking like your mans, right? You're not gonna start walking like this. But building a great back, strengthening your back is not only good for posture, it'll help make other lifts easier, helps you bench more. Google it. We have the technology, all right? So back's gonna help with your posture, help you sit up straight, keep you from slouching, you know what I mean? And who doesn't want a sexy back when you're hitting the beach? That's enough good for now. That's enough good around. Let's get to the exercise. Vbar is my go-to attachment, but there's other ones. You don't have to use Vbar, double I bar, H bar, however you want to look at it, right? But I prefer the Vbar, okay? Now, whenever I'm doing my seated cable rows, I think of my hands as hooks, right? I think of my hands as hooks and my lats as like a reel or an engine, you know, that's pulling the hooks towards the boat, towards the rail, whatever you want to look at, towards the rod if you like to fish, right? So your arm's going to be involved in the movement, but you don't want to be using your biceps to pull the weight back. You know, you want to engage your lats so that your hands are working as hooks and you feel a good contraction on your lats back here. Now, that takes mind-muscle connection, right? You got to be able to engage the right muscle by thinking like, hey, I'm doing a seated cable row, I want this to hit my lats. So really focus on using my lats to pull my arms back, right? And not just using my arms, right? Just practice, right? Practice with lighter weight, and eventually you'll be able to just make your lats contract or whatever muscle you're trying to work out. Anyways, so think of your hands as hooks, right? So let's grab some weight. Now we got our weight, so as you're practicing getting that mind and muscle connection, you know, it's something you have to just gotta practice communication like you do with any relationship, you know. No relationship's gonna work if you're not communicating. There's a little extra tip brought to you by EdgeFit. So my brain is communicating with my lats like, hey, I'm wanting you to do more work with this, you know, and it's telling the arms, you know, hey, back off a little bit, let the lats do their thing, right? So you have your weight. Now what you'll want to do is You want to keep your back as straight as possible. You don't want to have a hunching or anything like that. So keep your chest out pretty much the whole exercise, right? And so I let the weight pull my shoulders forward, right? And so when I feel that stretch on my back, that's what you're aiming for with this. You want to feel the biggest stretch on your back that you can possibly get, okay? So after you get that big stretch, you're gonna start pulling the back. Now again, this is when the mind-muscle connection comes in, because you want your lats pulling the weight back, right? And then you're gonna push your chest out, push your shoulders back, and then I like to hold it. Not this long, just for like a second. Back slow. And make sure you're breathing. Breathing is key, okay? So, real-time reps. Pull your shoulders forward. And so I have a little rock backwards as well. Just so I can really over-exaggerate pushing my shoulders back, right? And everything needs to be slow and controlled. Again, seated cable row is a staple to any back day. Make sure you're incorporating, make sure you're doing it right, and that's exactly what this is for, to make sure you're doing all these exercises correctly so that you can get the most out of the time you spend in your gym, right? Last thing we want to do is be going to the gym for about an hour, 2 hours, and don't get anything out of it because our form is wrong, we're using the wrong techniques or not doing the right exercises, right? So this is exactly what this is for. As we reach the end of this video, just an extra tip that somebody taught me and I'm gonna pass to y'all is whenever I'm doing my seated cable rows, you know, usually every other set, however many sets I'm doing. Now, this might be weird. I don't know if this makes sense. You can tell me if it's a placebo. Tell me, EJ, you're dumb in the comments, right? But I've tested it, I've tried it, and I swear I really feel a bigger contraction in my lower lat. You know, the lower part of the lat. That's hard to hit. But whenever I focus on, put more tension on my pinkies, I feel it more in my lower lats as I'm pulling back, right? And so you can test that out yourself, and you can tell me if I'm just telling a bold-faced lie, right? But for those of you that struggle in hitting the lower lats, put more pressure or tension on your pinkies as you're doing these exercises, right? And as far as I know, for me, I feel it more in my lower lats. Also, you know, if you're newer to working out and you're starting to use the seated cable row, you're moving into more weight resistance, just don't lift with your ego. Dudes, this is mainly males. Don't lift with your egos. Don't do more than you can actually do to where you're just, you know what I'm saying? We don't want all that. We want to use proper technique. Quality over quantity, right? You're welcome. But yeah, guys, hey, that's how you perform a seated cable row. Again, it's something that I try to incorporate in every single one of my back days. All right, guys. So that's the seated cable row. Go ahead, throw this in your back day routines, your full body routines, whatever your routine is, and I guarantee you, you're gonna start to see insane progress with your back in terms of strength, definition, whatever. You're gonna be walking like Tarzan's father soon, his gorilla father, not his human. Anyways, y'all have a great rest of the day. Again, if you're new and you're into this type of stuff, you're into anything fitness, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell button so you get notified every time I post, because these videos are straight coming right at you. And if you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit that like button. I gotta go do the rest of my back day and I still gotta hit chest. Pray for me, wish me luck. Anyways, this is Edge Fit, and we out.